Good morning, class. Before we proceed to our topic for today, let's us pray first. Queenie, can you lead the prayer?
Yes, sir. Bow our head and feel the presence of the Lord. Lord, God Almighty, thank you for today. Please guide us and help us to understand all our lesson for today and don't let us alone. Give our teacher the wisdom and patience to teach us all that we need to learn. These things we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Queenie. Now, before we go into our discussion, let's play first to have some energy throughout the discussion. The game called 4 Picks, 1 Word. You need just to complete the given jumble letters. Number 1, what do you think is the answer for these pictures? Queenie, can you answer?
President, sir.
Let's find out. President, very good. The next picture, ano sa tingin niyo yung sagot dito? Jude, can you answer? So, I think Jude is not available for now. The answer is timeline. Let's find out. Timeline. Next picture.
Ako, sir.
Jude, can you answer this number 3?
The answer is achievement.
Let's find out. The answer is correct, achievements. Last number. Jubeli, can you answer the last number?
Yes, sir. The answer is administration.
Let's find out. So correct, the answer is administration. Thank you for your all.
Good day, everyone. We are Group 8. We will be discussing our topic about the struggle for progress. It tells here the timeline of events of 1986 peaceful revolution, the administration of President Aquino and President Ramos, the administration of President Estrada and President Arroyo, and the administration of Aquino and Duterte. So let's find out. Listen carefully and watch it. But first and foremost, let's find out what is the learning outcomes for this topic.
Learning outcomes. At the end of the lesson, the student should be able to create timeline of important events, determine the main contributions of each president of the Philippines, identify events that lead the Filipino people to move for change, explain how the plan's movement succeeded or failed.
Timeline events in year 1986. February 7, presidential snap elections are held. President Marcos leads the tally made by the Commissions of Elections or COMELEC, but his opponent Corazon Cuanco Aquino leads another tally by the National Movement for Pre-Elections. February 11, opposition antic. Former Governor Evilio Javier is assassinated in front of the provincial capital as the canvassing is being held there. February 16, Cuanco Aquino leads tagumpay ng bayan. Rally in Luneta grandstand with over 2 million attendees. Proclaims victory in spite of the previous proclamation. February 22 to 24, People Power Revolution. February 25, Juanco Aquino swears in as the 11th and first female president of the Philippines before Chief Justice Claudio Tehanqui at the ceremonies in Club Filipino in San Juan. March 17, Filipino Star ngayon established as a first post-revolution tabloid newspaper. May 23, the Supreme Court declares legitimate the provisional Aquino government. June 2, Freedom Constitution is ended to give way for the adoption of new constitution. July 22, DZMM and DWKO established as the first post-revolution radio stations. September 2, Typhoon Miding hits northern Luzon, killing 36 people. October 15, signing of the new constitution by Cecilia Muñoz Palma and other members of the commission. December 25, President Aquino named as Time Magazine's Woman of the Year. Timeline events during administration of Cory Aquino. 1896. February 25, Cory, in her inaugural address, issues her first proclamation number 1, calling all appointed public officials to submit their courtesy resignation. In her speech, she proceeded to reorganize the government, issuing Executive Order number 1, appointing cabinet minister and task forces to help her run the government. March 25, 1 month after assuming the presidency, Cory issues proclamation number 3, proclaiming her government a revolutionary government. With this, she suspends the 1973 constitution installed during martial law and promulgates a provisional freedom constitution. May, the reorganized Supreme Court declared the Aquino government as not merely a de facto government but in fact and in law a de jure government whose legitimacy had been affirmed by the community of nations. September, Cory makes a historic speech before the joint session of the U.S. Congress. October, Cory issues Executive Order 48, creating an ad hoc special committee to supervise the liquidation of the affairs of the Constitutional Commission of 1986. 1987, January 22, 17 farmer demonstrators are killed when shooting broke out on Mendiola Bridge near Malacañang Palace. The farmers were demanding for land reform. February, the new constitution is approved in a national plebiscite. The 1987 constitution restores the bicameral Congress that Marcos abolished in 1973. May, the 1987 national elections for the newly restored Congress is held. July, Cory cedes legislative powers to the newly restored bicameral Congress.
Timeline events during the administration of Fidel Ramos, 1992 to 1998. June 30, former DepEd Secretary Fidel V. Ramos and former Senator Joseph Estrada was sworn in as the 12th President and 11th Vice President of the Philippines. September 22, President Ramos signed Republic Act 7637, which repealed the Anti-Subversion Act of 1957. September 30, U.S. forces leave Subic Bay Naval Base upon its turnover to the Philippines. February 2 to April 4, the eruption of Mayong volcano killed 77 people, mostly farmers, due to pyroclastic flow from the eruptions of the volcano. June 23 to 27, Typhoon Goring causes massive damage to the province in northern and central Luzon, leaving 51 people dead, 5 missing, 109 injured, and 2.775 billion in damages. October 7, the musical Les Miserables opened at Meralco Theater. May 21, Miss Universe 1994, the 43rd Miss Universe pageant was held in Manila. June 10, bomb attack in Zamboanga City perpetrated by the Abu Sayyaf group killed 71 people. January 21, Pasig becomes a highly urbanized city in Metro Manila through ratification of Republic Act 7829, which was approved last December 8, 1994. February 4,
Makati becomes a highly urbanized city through ratification of Republic Act 7854, which was approved last January 2, 1994. Timeline events during administration of Joseph Estrada. 1998 to 2001. June 30, former Vice President Joseph Estrada is sworn in as the 13th President of the Philippines, succeeding Fidel Ramos. September, dry spell felt in 16 regions amid country's 4-year growth with 9 billion worth of agricultural damages. September 18, passenger ferry Princess of the Orient sinks off Fortune Island during a typhoon, killing 150 people. December 18, Abu Sayyaf founder Abdurrahak Janjalani dies in a police encounter. March 21, President Estrada in his visit in Cuaswagan, Lanao del Norte declares an all-out war against the MILF in Mindanao following rebel attacks in Lanao. May 4, the I Love You computer virus originating from the country is released by a student spreading quickly throughout the world and damaging around 45 million computers worldwide. June 21, the PBC-Com Tower, the tallest building in the country upon its completion, opens. August 10, Maasin becomes a city in the province of Southern Leyte through ratification of Republic Act 8796, which was approved last August 10. October 4, Luis Singson exposes President Estrada allied link to illegal gambling, followed by a privileged speech of Senator Teofisto Guengona in Senate. Timeline events during administration of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, 2001 to 2010. January, Arroyo ascent to the Philippine presidency in 2001 resulted from the ouster of her predecessor Joseph Estrada through a peaceful uprising dubbed as People Power 2. May, Estrada was arrested on charges of plunder, an estimated 3 million pesos. July, Arroyo declared a state of rebellion in Manila and ordered the arrest of opposition leaders who led the uprising and conspired to topple the government. July, the Oakwood Mutiny occurred in the Philippines. December, Arroyo made the surprise announcement that she would not seek a new term in the 2004 Philippine general election. January, Arroyo faced a tough election campaign in early 2004 against Estrada friend and popular actor Ferdinand Poe Jr. August, Arroyo lagged behind Poe in the polls prior to the campaign session, but her popularity steadily climbed to surpass Poe's. June, Arroyo took her oath of office on June 30, 2004. In a break with tradition, she chose to first deliver her inaugural address at the Quirino Grandstand in Manila before departing to Cebu City for her oath-taking. February, an allied coup d'etat plot was uncovered in the Philippines headed by Brig General Danilo Lim. May, legislative and local elections were held in the Philippines. October, the fourth 97-page impeachment complaint against President Arroyo was filed at the House of Representatives of the Philippines with the required endorsement by party list Representative Satur Ocampo, Theodore Casino, and Lisa Massa. Timeline events during administration of Ninoy Aquino, 2010 to 2015. August, the hostage crisis which happened on August 23, 2010 started after former police senior inspector Rolando Mendoza hijacked a bus with 24 passengers at the Quirino Grandstand in Rizal Park. September, Public-Private Partnership Center Aquino signed Executive Order No. 8, renaming, reorganizing, and renaming the Build, Operate, and Transfer Center. April, the late Chief Justice of the Supreme Court Renato Corona was removed from office with a 23-3 vote from the Senate in a conviction that it could strengthen the Aquino's goal of cracking down on the corruption that is dragging down the country's economy. October, the 2012 Framework Agreement of the Bangsamoro or PAB was signed between the Philippine government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. December, Aquino signed the Sin Tax Law of 2012, which would help finance the Universal Healthcare Program of the government. Aquino signed Republic Act 10354 or the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012. November, the Philippines tried to arrest Chinese fishermen for their illegal presence at Scarborough Shoal, which lies 124 nautical miles west of Zambales province and within the Philippines 200 nautical miles exclusive economic zone. May, Aquino signed the K-12 bill into law that will add 2 years to the basic education system in an effort to further prepare students for the workforce after education. November, Tropical Cyclone Yolanda, international name Haiyan, hit the Philippines with wind of 313 km per hour or 195 miles per hour. It has been described as the strongest tropical cyclone to make landfall in recorded history. January, 44 members of the Philippine National Police Special Action Forces or SAP, known as the SAP 44, had a special task called Upland Exodus that aimed to capture the Malaysian terrorist Zulkifli bin Hir alias Marwan and the local terrorist Abdul Basit Usman. Timeline events during administration of Rodrigo Duterte 2016 to present. May, Duterte cut short a visit to Moscow when clashes erupt in Marawi between Filipino troops and Islamic fighters. September, the conflict has displaced around 350,000 people and resulted in the deaths of more than 1,000. Duterte declares a state of martial law covering the entire island of Mindanao. July, under the government's Build Initiative, Duterte pledges to usher in a golden age of infrastructure through a 6-year, $180 billion spending spree to modernize and build airports, roads, railways, and ports. February, the International Criminal Court or ICC opens a preliminary investigation into the thousands of deaths that occurred during Duterte's war on drugs. May, election result in Duterte maintaining his hold on the House of Representatives and see him take control of the Senate, the only effective check remaining on his administration. January, Duterte say he will end a 1998 pact that allow US troops to operate in the Philippines. September, Duterte accept his party nomination to run for Vice President in the next year election. October, Duterte announces he will not run for Vice President but will retire from politics.
Contribution, time to be grateful. The administration of President Aquino and President Ramos. The contribution of Aquino administration in the Philippines is to sustain the country's momentum. The Aquino administration had been continuously improving upon the good governance reform it has established, which includes strengthening the mechanisms necessary for the swift and efficient delivery of services to Filipinos. The government has reformed its procurement and budgeting process to promote efficiency and reduce opportunities for corruption, preventing the waste of billions of pesos in taxpayers' money, while the contribution of the President Ramos administration in the Philippines is to remembered for steadfast promoting the principle of people empowerment and global competitiveness. In 1993, he put an end to the power crisis that crippled Filipino homes and industries for 2 years. The administration of the President Estrada and President Arroyo. The Estrada administration widened the coverage of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program or carp to the landless peasants in the countryside. The latter's administration distributed more than 266,000 hectares of land to 175,000 landless farmers, including the land owned by the traditional rural elite. As a legislator, Arroyo filed over 400 bills and authored or sponsored 55 laws during her tenure as senator, including the Anti-Sexual Harassment Law, the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Law, and Export Development Act. The administration of Aquino and Duterte, Aquino III, or also known as Pinoy, is to strengthen the agricultural sector. One of the major strategies identified toward the attainment of this is to make credit more accessible to small farmers and fish folk to help in the improvement of their productivity and thereby the improvement of their household income as well. While Duterte started a nationwide campaign to rid the country of crime, corruption, and illegal drugs. The war on drugs saw about 6,600 persons linked the illegal drug trade killed as July of 2019. Duterte prioritized infrastructures spending, initiating the massive Build program.
Ngayon, matapos ating matunghayan ng mga pangyayari noong panahong 1986, dumako naman tayo sa pangalawa nating activity. Tie up and drop up. Activity 2. Guess who? Dito, manghuhula lang tayo sa susunod na mga tao. Ayan. Sa tingin nyo, sino yan?
Po, ma'am.
Jude?
Siya po ay si Rodrigo Roa Duterte at kasalukuyang Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Roa Rodrigo Duterte, a Filipino politician who is the 16th and incumbent President of the Philippines. He is the chairperson of PDP Laban, the ruling political party of the Philippines.
Magaling. Tama. Siya si President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, a Filipino politician who is the 16th and incumbent President of the Philippines. He also the chairperson of PDP Laban, the ruling political party in the Philippines. So dumako naman tayo sa pangalawang pictures. Sino naman yan sa tingin nyo?
Ako po, ma'am.
Sige, Gamad.
Si Gloria Macapagal Arroyo po, a Filipina academic and politician who served as 14th President of the Philippines from 2001 until 2010 po. She's the longest serving President of the Philippines since Ferdinand Marcos po.
Napakagaling. Tignan nga natin. Tama ang iyong sagot. Siya si President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Siya ay isang Filipina academic and politician who served as the 14th President. Sino naman siya? Namumukhaan niyo ba siya? Sino ang gustong sumagot? Ramjay?
Siya po si Fidel V. Ramos. Fidel V. Ramos, a retired Filipino general and politician who served as the 12th President of the Philippines from 1992 to 1998.
Magaling. Tingnan nga natin. Tama. Siya si President Fidel Valdez Ramos. Siya ay isang retired Filipino general and politician who served as the 12th President of the Philippines. So, sunod. Sunod na pictures. Sino naman kaya siya? Sino ang gustong sumagot? Sino ang nakakakilala sa kanya?
Ako po,
Ako
ma'am.
po, ma'am. Sige, Queenie.
Siya po si President Corazon C. Aquino, a Filipino politician who served as 11th President of the Philippines from 1986 to 1982 po.
Magaling. Tignan nga natin. Tamang yung sagot. Siya si President Corazon C. Aquino, a Filipino politician who served as the 11th President of the Philippines. Sunod na pictures. Sino naman kaya ito? Sinong gusto sumagot?
Ako po, ma'am.
Sige, Jude.
Siya si Jose Marcelo Ejercito o mas kilala bilang Joseph Estrada o ERAP. Joseph Ejercito Estrada or ERAP is a Filipino politician and a former actor who served as the 13th President of the Philippines from 1998 to 2001. The ninth vice and also he is the ninth Vice President of the Philippines 1992 to 1998 and the 21st Mayor of Manila, the country's capital from 20 and she served from 2013 to 2019.
Napakagaling naman ng sagot mo. Tignan nga natin. Tama, siya si President Joseph Ejercito Estrada, a Filipino politician and former actor who served as the 13th President of the Philippines. Sunod na pictures. Sino naman kaya ito?
Ako po, ma'am.
Sige, Ramjay.
Siya po si Benigno Simeon Aquino III, a Filipino politician who served as the 15th President of the Philippines from 2010 to 2016.
Tignan nga natin ang iyong sagot. Napakagaling din. Tama, siya si President Benigno Simeon Aquino III, a Filipino politician who served as the 15th President of the Philippines. So, makikita talaga dito na marami tayong natutunan tungkol sa ating tinalakay kanina. Napakagaling.
Ayan. Pagkatapos nating malaman ang iba't ibang background ng ating iba't ibang mga naging pangulo at kasalukuyang pangulo ng Pilipinas, ngayon, dadako naman tayo sa ating tie-up, wrap-up. Slide. Next slide. Ang tie-up, wrap-up natin ay pinamagatam time. Dito, gagawa kayo ng isang timeline na nagpapakita ng na pagkakasunod-sunod ng Pilipinas. Next slide. Ayan. Maaari kong basahin sa inyo ang instruction. Make a timeline. Direction. Make your own timeline of what you have learned. And yung timeline na gagawin nyo is based doon sa mga natutunan natin. 'Di ba kanina nag-discuss tayo about sa mga timeline ng pangulo and mga background ng pangulo. Ngayon, ang gagawin naman nating timeline is yung important events in the year 1986. Now, bibigyan ko lang kayo ng 10 minutes para matapos yung activity and then after 10 minutes, magtatawag ako ng isang pangalan para i-present yung kanyang gawa. Any questions?
Wala na po.
Okay, sige. Thank you. You can start your work now. Okay, tapos na ba lahat?
Tapos na po.
Yes.
Ayan. Present, babalikan muna natin yung yung direction kung nasundan ba talaga natin. Tawag dito assessment, i-assess natin kung tama ba yung nagawa natin bago natin siya i-present. So, yung sa tie-up wrap-up natin, yung title is Make a Timeline. Yung direction niya is make your own timeline of what you have learned in the important events in the year 1986. Sundan nyo ba yung direction?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Ngayon, tatawag ako ng isang estudyante or isang representative na pwedeng mag-explain and mag-elaborate or describe kung ano yung ginawa niya. Sinong gusto?
Ako po, sir. So, ito po yung gawa ko. So, papaliwanag ko po kung ano po yung mga nilagay ko po. Base sa mga natutunan ko, ito po yung mga important events na nangyari noong 1986. So, noong February 7, nangyari po yung presidential snap elections. Noong February 11 po, opposition anti former Governor Evilio Javier. Noong February 16 naman, nangyari yung Juanco Aquino leads tagumpay ng bayan, victory of the people. Noong February 22 to 24 po, bali 3 araw po ito nangyari. Ito po yung People Power Revolution. Sa February 25 po, Juanco Aquino swears in as the 11th and first female president of the Philippines. Noong March 17 po, ito po yung huling natatandaan ko kung ano po yung events na nangyari noong 1986. First, post-revolution tabloid newspaper. Ito po yung mga sinulat ko sa papel na mga natutunan ko po sa ating discussion. Yun lamang po, sir.
Tama. Kahit alam kong kahit hindi ko nabasa or hindi niyo napakita lahat ng gawa niyo, alam ko na nagawa niyo ito ng tama at na-explain niyo ito sa pamamagitan ng inyong creativity sa pagsusulat. Yan, sobrang nakakatuwa na kahit pa paano ay may natutunan kayo sa ating discussion. Maraming salamat.
So ayan, natapos na natin yung tie-up and wrap-up. Tumako na tayo sa evaluation and assessment. Titignan natin kung may natutunan ba talaga kayo in the end of the lesson. So ready na ba kayo?
Ready na po.
Ayan. So let's
Ready na.
proceed. Sa evaluation tsaka sa assessment, ang title is Watch. So sa direction na to, write your thoughts, feelings, and facts about the administration during of President Duterte. So dito sa video na to, makikita nyo kung ano ba talaga yung administration or campaign ni Duterte, President Duterte.
Located 310 kilometers off Manila is Boracay Island, one of the world's famous tourist destinations. On February 8, 2018, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte tagged the area as a cesspool, directing DENR to clean up and rehabilitate Boracay.
Boracay is a cesspool. It is destroying the environment of the Republic of the Philippines and creating a disaster coming.
On May 8, 2018, Executive Order Number 53 was issued creating the Boracay Interagency Task Force, BIATF, who will spearhead the rehabilitation activities. On April 26, 2018, rehabilitation officially started with the following activities: demolition of illegal structures within the 25 plus 5 meters easement in White Beach and Puka Beach, road clearing and widening to decongest traffic, demolition of hangover structures along the roads in compliance with a 12-meter road easement, excavation of buried pipes. As part of the recovery of the wetlands, demolition of illegal structures was also initiated. The government partnered with the private sector to rehabilitate the wetlands within Boracay. Part of the rehabilitation efforts is to ensure that the quality of water is within water quality standards.
So ayan, nakita niyo kung ano yung legacy at yung campaign or advocacy ni President Duterte. Ngayon sa evaluation natin, susukatin natin or malalaman ko kung ano ba talaga yung thoughts, insight, and facts na natutunan niya sa video. So anyone?
Ako po, ma'am.
Yes? Judy?
Yung natutunan ko po dun sa video na pinanood niyo po, yung legacy po ni President Rodrigo Duterte doon is yung i-clean po yung i-clean yung Boracay, yung Manila Bay, which is napagtagumpayan naman niya kasi after ng ilang months, nakita naman natin yung resulta na talagang nalinis yung Boracay tsaka yung Manila Bay, which is naman sa atin parang napapakinabangan naman natin kasi syempre kung madumi po yung yung mga tubig po sa atin or yung mga ilog ganyan yung epekto po nun is hindi rin maganda sa kalusugan natin. Kaya maganda po yung legacy ni President Rodrigo Duterte na linisin po yung at saka linisin at i-survive po yung dapat pong i-survive. Ayun po.
Tama, napakahusay. Paano naman yung iba? Ramjay? Ano ang natutunan mo sa legacy ni President Duterte, yung administration niya?
Yung isang alam ko na biggest achievement ni President Duterte during her administration is yung tinatawag na Build program kung saan inayos niya yung mga roads, nagpatayo siya ng mga bagong building at bumili siya ng mga bagong trend. Ito yung sa program na ito, yung advantage nito is mabibigyan ng trabaho yung mga mamamayan natin, mapapasweldo sila at magkakaroon sila ng income para sa para sa pang-araw-araw nila, yung pagkain, yung bayad ng bills. Ayun yung isa sa mga advantage ng Build program na yun na mapapakinabangan din natin kasi dahil nagawa yung mga kalsada, meron tayong maayos na transportation na magagamit at sa future natin as a student, napakahalaga rin natin yung kasi mababawasan yung pagiging late natin sa school kasi naayos yung mga kalsada, nabigyan ng trabaho yung magulang natin na pwede nakakatulong sa atin sa pag-aaral natin dahil ayun yung source of income nila na naging baon natin sa araw-araw. Yun lang po.
Well said. Very good, Ramjay. Nasabi mo yung administration ni President Duterte. Napakahusay. How about Jude?
Pareha dun sa sinabi, yung isang tumatak sa akin na legacy ni Duterte ay yung pangangalaga at pagpe-preserve ng ating mga likas na yaman, especially yung mga rivers, yung mga oceans kasi hindi lang yung kapaligiran yung may epekto ng hindi natin pag-aalaga sa ating kalikasan kundi epekto rin to sa kalusugan natin, sa ating lahat at higit sa lahat kung hindi natin pangangalagaan yung kalikasan, yung mundo ginagalawan natin, at the end of the day, tayo lang din yung magsa-suffer. Tayo lang din yung tatanggap ng consequences towards dun sa natin sa ating surroundings. Yun lang.
Napakahusay niyo naman. Marami kayong natutunan sa video na to at sa lesson natin. Nawal magamit niyo yun sa real life situation natin. At mas lalo pa nating i-value, i-appreciate yung mga campaign or advocacy ng mga president ng Pilipinas. Okay? So for the final assessment, multiple choice. So direction, choose the letter of the best answer. So dun sa lesson natin, masasagutan nyo yan kapag alam nyo at nakikinig kayo sa lesson, okay? So, ready your paper and ball pen. Okay na ba lahat? Okay. Meron kayong 5 minutes to answer this 5 question and choose your best answer. Ready na?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So start muna. Okay na ba ang lahat?
Okay na po, ma'am.
Okay. So, who wants to answer this number 1? Jude, can you please answer number 1?
Number 1. Direction. Choose the letter of the best answer. Number 1. People Power Revolution. A. October 15, 1986. B. February 22 to 24, 1986. Letter C. December 27, 1986. Or D. May 23, 1986. And sa tingin ko po yung sagot po sa People Revolution ay letter B, February 22 to 24, 1986.
Correct. How about number 2? Number 2?
Ako po,
Ako
ma'am.
po, ma'am.
Jubeli, what is your
Number
answer?
2. Answer na lang po, ma'am. Number 2. His administration in the Philippines is remembered for steadfastly promoting the principles of people empowerment and global competitiveness. Ang answer ko po is letter A, President Ramos.
Correct. How about number 3? Who amended the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law?
Ako po, ma'am.
Yes, Ramjay?
Sagot ko po sa number 3 is letter D, President Ramos.
Correct. Si President Ramos ang nag-amended ng Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law. How about number 4? What is the answer?
Ako po, ma'am.
Yes, Ramjay?
Prioritize infrastructure spending, initiating the massive benefit. My answer is C, President Duterte.
Perfect. So, the last number,
Ako po, ma'am.
Juby.
Number 5. Aquino signed the K-12 bill into law that will add 2 years to the basic education system. Letter A, May 2010 to 2015.
Perfect. I think lahat kayo nakakuha ng perfect score. Tama ba? Ito yung
Yes
sagot.
po.
Yes po, ma'am.
Who got the perfect score?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Perfect. So I think marami kayo talagang natutunan sa lesson na to. Okay? Kung ano yung mga administration at kung ano ang nangyari sa 1986. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yun, ha? Okay, that's all. Thank you for today.
Thank you so much din po.